Alright, I've got to say it, the BFDIA Final Four sucks, and here's why. Now, I don't really think there's ever been a perfect Final Four in BFDI history, but the one in BFDIA is clearly the weakest by far. To really explain why, we need to take a look back at the other Final Fours, starting with BFDI and then BFB, and comparing them to the Final Four we have now. Let's go through the BFDI Final Four. We'll start off with Flower. She's the big rejoiner of the season, and yeah, some people don't like that, but honestly, looking at who got eliminated before her, like Spongy, Rocky, Ice Cube, and David, Flower is easily the best option to come back. I've seen people hate on Season 1 Flower, but after her rejoin, I think she's actually great. The humor she brings is unique, and her dynamics with Bubble and Leafy are super entertaining, and I especially love how the final challenge builds up her tension with others. And then there's Fiery. Fiery is one of the best rootable characters in all of Season 1. He's funny, but not in the same way as Flower, but in his own awkward, dry way. He mostly stayed out of the drama until the very end, which ironically made the final conflict with Leafy so much more powerful. He does fall off a little after Coin's elimination, but I think he redeems himself big time through his friendship with Leafy towards the end of the season. Bubble, easily my favorite in the season. Her kindness, her loyalty to Pencil and Match, her rivalry with Leafy, it all worked so well. You really see her growth, especially when she starts standing up to Leafy and building more of her own personality and her own storylines. And then there's Leafy, easily the most important character in the whole group. She connects with everyone. She's funny, unpredictable, and brings so much drama and conflict. But the best part, none of these characters are one-dimensional. They all have their own flaws. They don't even really like each other, but it doesn't feel forced in a way. That's why Season 1 Final Four is so iconic, because it just balances each other out so well. Now let's go to BFB. This season's Final Four is definitely not perfect, but compared to BFDIA's, it's definitely better. Flower, again, totally deserved it. Her character arc is incredible, and she honestly earned her win, especially with her growth throughout the season, and I really appreciated how much they developed her character. Teardrop, I think she's a bit overrated, but still a really solid character. She's rootable, fun to watch in challenges, and I really liked her dynamic with Gelatin and Lollipop. Gelatin, I used to love him, especially before the split, but post-split, they kind of changed him too much. He went from being clever and witty to just clumsy and goofy. He's not terrible, but I definitely would have preferred Lollipop in his spot. And then there's Leafy, easily my least favorite character in BFB post-split. Anyone else would have been better, but still, despite Leafy being here, I don't hate this lineup. The options weren't amazing, but at least most of the picks made sense. If I could swap anyone, it'd probably be Leafy with Lollipop, and maybe Gelatin also swapped with Lollipop, and also I feel like Blocky could have been a good option too. Then there's the BFDIA Final Four. The BFDIA Final Four just doesn't work. The only character I'm genuinely happy about being there is Corny, and if he doesn't win, I'm going to be pretty disappointed, because honestly, that's the only reason I'm really rooting for, because it feels like he's the only one with his own unique personality left in the show. From the final 9 onward, literally any other character would have been better than Tennis Ball, Needle, or Book. Tennis Ball. They're clearly trying to make him this sort of villain role, but it just doesn't work. He's not interesting or intimidating. I just don't care about his evilness and challenges and him sabotaging others. Then there's Book and Needle. These two basically share the same personality. They're supposed to be these underdogs that you feel bad for, but they're just boring. No standout traits, no unique humor, nothing grabs me. Corny, on the other hand, does have the energy. He has personality, he has humor. He has a clear role in the show's story. If he gets eliminated, I honestly won't care about the season anymore, because the final 3 ends up being Book, Needle, and Tennis Ball. That would easily be the worst winner in BFDI history. And that's the real issue here. BFDIA has so many great characters all around. That's my favorite part of the season, is the cast. And yet somehow we ended up with the most boring mix possible. It makes the season feel like it's falling off a cliff right now when it should be peaking. So yeah, the BFDIA 4 final sucks. Not because of the show itself is bad. The season's actually great overall, but because of the finale lineup, it just doesn't come to what I want it to be, and was honestly probably the worst case scenario. But what do you think? Do you actually think the BFDIA Final Four is bad? Or do you disagree with me? Leave it down in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next video.